Now, Central Oregon's local alert weather with Katie Suniga.
A little sunset picture out at Wickiup Reservoir for your viewer photo today. I love when we do have clouds in the sky and we get an opportunity to see that sunset with these colors on it. We have not had very many opportunities the last few days for sunsets like this, but we may see just a little bit tonight. We do have a few clouds as this trough passes through the region. We'll see that we saw the temperatures drop today. We see a few clouds tonight. Temperatures about the same tomorrow before things pick back up. Just a few clouds though, nothing major and nothing that could bring us any precipitation. With our winds, as this moves through, we'll see pretty similar winds to yesterday, just not quite as strong. We're thinking like about 20 miles per hour or so we get to for those gusts, and then 15 to 20 for the sustained winds. Still some stronger winds along the coast, and we're seeing all of our winds come out of the north today. Temperature wise, we have not heat up as much as we have. You can see here in Central Oregon, we are right in those middle 80s, low 70s in Portland, still in the 90s to some of us to the south, just not quite as high as we were the last couple of days. And for tomorrow, we're looking at pretty similar temperatures. We're going to see those mid 80s here again in Central Oregon, low 90s to those mid 90s in Medford. We could get into the high 80s in the Dalles, and then the low 80s through the valley. It's then that the warm up begins. Well, here's where we're at right now. We're still in that warmer part of the day. We could heat up just a little bit more before we get into the evening. With where we're at in Central Oregon, we're seeing those high 70s in Sisters, low 80s for the most part, except in Bend, Redmond, and in Warm Springs. We're about the mid 80s, which is right about where we believed we would be about this time of the day. Tonight, we are still above average, just slightly cooler than we were last night, with really only Bend and potentially Warm Springs, maybe even Sun River staying in the 50s, and then the rest of the region being in those high 40s. Tomorrow, similar temperatures, maybe just a few clouds. Warmest area potentially being Warm Springs, getting the closest to the 90s, and then things heat up. Here's why. We're watching this high pressure system continue to move up, and that is bringing our pressure up even more. So we're going to stay under high pressure through the weekend, which also allows us to see these nice clear skies to continue. We did have a little bit of cloud cover on the west side of the Cascades. They even had a little bit of rain up in Washington, but not for us. We stayed nice and clear and dry. By Sunday, we could be back into the low 90s. Monday, those mid 90s. Tuesday, that's the day that everybody's looking at thinking, ooh, doggy, that is pretty hot. We begin to cool down pretty quickly after that. We could be back into the mid low 80s by next Friday.